This video is part 2, all about how I track and manage my inventory. In the first part, I showed you how I create SKU numbers, and I gave you a walk through the spreadsheet I use to keep track of all the items that I sell on Poshmark, eBay, and Mercari. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing some storage tips as I walk around my home and show you exactly where I store all of the items. I'll share how I record my sales in bulk, and in the end, I'll be answering some of the most common questions I get when it comes to the admin part of reselling. Things like expenses, returns, and handling stale inventory. When I first got started reselling, I didn't realize fully how much space it was going to take. I live in a home with 5 other people, and so I really had to reorganize things to make this work. One tip I have for you when storing lots of items in a small space is to make use of every available space you do have. This right here is a closet that is in the hallway. It used to store random items and it didn't even take up the whole space. So I got rid of those things, put them in other places, and now I use this for my inventory instead. In the last part, I told you that I work off of a categorizing system. So off to the side in each of these rows in this closet, I have a letter which corresponds with the type of item that is in that row. Here is the I for leggings and outdoor pants down here. Then we have H for jeans, C for heels right here. On this other side, I have D for these dress shoes. And then at the top, we have B for boots. Tall boots are stored in these brown boxes here. And I try to have the label visible so that it's easy to find. Even on these top ones, I try to have the label to where I can just search real quick and find what I need. Another neat thing about this is that as items sell and these become less full, I can just push them down and put the new ones here. And so that kind of gives me an idea of where I should look for the item. If it's an old item, more than likely it's going to be towards the end here. If it's a newer item, it's going to be on this end. This is another closet that I use to store inventory and some shipping supplies. Let's start here. These brown boxes are Amazon boxes that I reuse to store my inventory. In this box, I have F's, which are wedge and sandals and ballerina flats. I did have a label here before, but it fell off and I didn't bother putting it again because I already know where the categories are located around my home. Here we have Q's, which is bras and other miscellaneous in this brown box. These 2 boxes are standing on a table here, and right below the table I had some empty space, so I started to use that for tops. These are all tops in here. Beside that, I have this black crate that holds all of the purses and backpacks. Next to that, we have a large pink basket which holds all the K's. This one still has the label right above it. K's is for jackets, so that's what's in here. In this clear basket, we have sweaters at the bottom and jackets on top. And here in this other clear basket, we have more sweaters. I was left with an empty space right beside this clear basket, so I started to use that for vests since I don't have that many. Off to the left here is where I store my steamer. My rack goes here. And right above this, we have another shelf that I use to store supplies. Here are the poly bags. In this box we have cleaning supplies for shoes. Off over here to the farther left we have all of the shipping boxes. I just keep some here, and when I need more I will go grab more from my garage. The last place I use to store my reselling stuff is here in my garage. In this box is where I store dresses. Here I have shorts and skirts, and then I have all the extra boxes, extra clear poly bags. And in this brown box is inventory that I have yet to take pictures of. So basically here in my garage is where I store excess inventory, excess shipping supplies, and items that are out of season. I still do sell the shorts and skirts, dresses throughout the winter, but it's less often. And so I don't mind the occasional time I have to come out here to my garage to get the item to ship it. Once winter is over, I'm sure that's gonna flip, and I'm going to move the dresses and skirts inside and bring the jackets and sweaters out here since they're going to sell less often. So again, if you don't have much space to work with, that is one thing that you could do. Focus on having the items that sell the most on hand where it's easier to get to, and the items that sell less often, maybe you can store in an area that's farther away. And the last storing tip that I want to leave you with is to keep your investments low by using what you already have on hand. You don't have to go out and buy racks and lots of bins to store your items right off the bat. Just slowly grow your business, use everything you have, and later you can invest in those kind of fancy things. I reuse all boxes I get in the mail and use those to store things. Since I've started, the only two things I've actually bought are these two clear baskets. Everything else I already had in my home. Just use all things and all space you already have on hand to keep your investments low. The next part of the process when it comes to keeping track of inventory is recording all the sales that come in. I used to do this every single day, but as of lately, I am really trying to do things in bulk whenever I can, just to save time. And so now I am only recording sales once a week, and usually that's on Sunday, and that's when I record my sales numbers for all my other income streams I have as well. I will record sales from a Saturday to a Sunday. So right here in this spreadsheet that I showed you in part 1 of this video, you can see under this January tab that the last time I recorded sales was from the 2nd through the 8th. And here in this calendar, you can see that it's from a Sunday to a Saturday. I like recording sales this way because most other companies run their data in this manner. So today is Friday the 14th. The next time that I would record sales would be on the 16th, and I will record the sales that came in from the 9th all the way through the 15th. But we'll go ahead and record a few together just so you can see how this process works. First thing, of course, would be to have my spreadsheet open. On a different tab, I will open up Poshmark, and then I will minimize this window, put Poshmark off to the side. And the easiest way to actually get your sales that you've made on Poshmark is to click on your profile picture, go down to order activity, and here to the left hand side you can ask them to email you your sales report. So you just tap on that, and you can ask for a full year, a year to date, or a custom range. But the reason why I don't do it this way is because Poshmark will not put sales in here until they are complete. And I like to keep track of sales when the sale was made. So if a sale was made today, Poshmark will not add it into the spreadsheet until the buyer actually receives the item. So that's why instead I will click here on my profile picture, go down to my sales, and then I can use this little calendar icon to put in the date range that I want. As I said, on Sunday I'm going to be working from the 9th to the 15th, but obviously the 15th is not available right now because we're not there yet. So I'll just be selecting the 9th through the 14th and click apply. Then I will go to the bottom and work my way up. And I will right click on each item and click open link in new tab. I'll just go ahead and open 2 for now, but usually I'd go ahead and do this whole row, work on that row, then scroll up and work on the next row. The first thing I'll do is highlight this SKU number and press Ctrl C on my keyboard to copy that. And then in my inventory sheet, I can press Ctrl F to bring up this find function. Then I'll click Ctrl V to paste that SKU number, and that will bring me to the exact item I am looking for. And that is because in a previous step, I added the SKU number to the end of this title. Now I'm just going to select the number right next to this row so that it can select the whole thing for me. And then I'll click Ctrl X to cut this item from this page so that I can go paste it into the January sheet, which is the month that it sold on. I'll select the next blank row and click Ctrl V on my keyboard to paste this item. And from there, it's all about filling in the missing information. The item number, cost of goods, date listed, and price will already be pre-filled out, but I will have to select the platform. I'll have to add in the date that it sold, which was the 9th, as I can see here on this Poshmark page. And the price sold, I can also see right here under details. It sold for $24. This column shipping discount, I can also see here on Poshmark, and I didn't give a shipping discount, so I'll leave that as 0. And from there, the spreadsheet should fill out the rest of this information, which is the earnings, the gross, the profit margin, and even the days that this item was listed. And I'll move on to this next cell, which is this torrid vest. I'll select the SKU number again, go to my inventory sheet, find this SKU number, select the item, cut it out of this page, and paste it into the January tab. and fill out the missing information. And so that's what I'll continue to do for every single sale that I had that week. For eBay sales, I will log into my account, click on sale at the top, go to the orders tab, and scroll down to all orders. And under this tab here, I can select this week, and that will show me all the items that have sold. And the process will be similar. I'll just select the SKU number, find it in my inventory sheet, and paste it into the January tab or whatever month it's sold on. And for Mercari, unfortunately, they don't have a SKU system yet, and they don't have an easy way to find all these sales that you made that week. You could go to your profile picture on top, go to your seller dashboard, and click on sales report right here. And then you can give them the date range that you'd like your sales report for. Then you'll be able to download it right away. But again, just like Poshmark, it's not very up to date because they wait till the sale is completed and everything before they add it to the spreadsheet. So what I do instead is I use my phone. Every time you make a sale, Mercari sends you a message. So I'll just look through all of these messages and click on the links to see the order, to view the receipt, and see how much things sold for and when they sold. Now let's talk about some of the most common questions I get when it comes to keeping track of inventory. And the first one is how I keep track of expenses for the supplies and everything else that I buy for my reselling business. To keep track of my expenses on this reseller spreadsheet, I added a sheet called expenses. And this is what this looks like. At the very top, I have the month we're in, and then I have the different income streams that I have separated into different columns here. I have one for reselling, one for YouTube, affiliate, and other. Each Sunday when I track my reselling sales, I will also come here and update this sheet. I will input the date here and how much I made that week. And then below that, I will input any expenses that I had that week. And I will do the same for the rest of the income streams. This spreadsheet will automatically update my gross income, my net income, taxes, and my take-home pay. And that spreadsheet, I downloaded it for free from Google. I just went on there and searched for business earnings and expenses spreadsheet, and I came across that one that I felt met my needs and the things that I have to keep track of. And so you can do the same. Just go on to Google and search for a spreadsheet that will meet your needs. If you need a more simpler one or a more complex one, there's many to choose from, and many people offer them for free. The next question I'd like to answer is how I transition all my inventory from one year to the next. Basically, what I would do is download a blank spreadsheet, and I will download this from the place where I bought it from, which is unfortunately no longer available. But once I have this blank spreadsheet, all I will do is go to my previous year spreadsheet, which is this one here, and just click Control A to select all of this inventory. Then I will right click and click copy. And then I can go to the new year spreadsheet, which is blank, and then go ahead and paste all of this information. And that is basically it. Next question is what happens when I sell a bundle? How do I distribute the cost of that into my spreadsheet? Let's say these two items we previously input into my January tab sold in a bundle on Poshmark. And let's say they sold for $100. In the price sold section, I would literally just distribute it in half, put 50 and 50. And let's say for some odd reason that the shipping was $8. Again, I will divide it in half and input that into the shipping column for each of these items. And that's all I will do. Sure, sometimes one item is worth more than the other, and maybe the ending cost doesn't make sense. But at the end of it all, it doesn't really matter what price point you give to each of these two items that's sold in a bundle, because at the end of the month, under your stats, under total sales, this number will be the same no matter how you distribute the amount this bundle sold for. Even if you do half and half, 60-40, or even if you put 90-10, this number under the total sales will be the same no matter what. So I don't worry about it much, and I just go right down the middle and distribute it that way. Next question is how I handle returns in my inventory spreadsheet. For returns, I just keep things simple. I will go look for the item that is being returned. I'll just look for the month that it's sold on and select it. Let's say this halogen poncho is being returned on eBay. I will cut it out from this month and then just go put it back into inventory. And the last question is actually a very good question, and that is, what do I do with the stale inventory that I ended up donating? How do I keep track of that? In the past, I actually haven't. I would just delete it from all of my platforms, delete it from my inventory sheet, and forget about it. But come to think of it, after this question was asked, I really should keep track of it since it's an expense that I once had in my reselling business. So moving forward, what I will do is add this into my expenses spreadsheet that I showed you earlier. I'll just add it under the reselling column as an expense. If after watching part 1 and part 2 of how I keep track and manage all my inventory, you still have a question, make sure to leave it in the comments down below. If you found this helpful, support my channel by giving me a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe for more content like this. In the meantime, I'll leave a playlist right here with more Poshmark tips and tutorials. Thank you for stopping by my channel today. I'll see you next time.